I make it no secret that I'm a giant sissy baby. I get shaken easily with a strong enough atmosphere or direction. I don't do well with hyper or realistic violence, yet I have a love-hate relationship with horror and enjoy the themes more often than not. I just have to watch through my fingers or be told after the fact so I can engage with the media. These are in order that I experienced them from some of my earliest memories to more recent. A wide range here. Enjoy. Some of these will seem really silly. For the first one on the docket, I don't even know how this happened. I was like 6 when I got my GameCube for Christmas, but I somehow ended up with The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. It's always just been in my collection. Anyway, this story is when I was a little older and my younger brother started playing video games. He boots up the GameCube and wants to try out the collection. He wants to play Majora's Mask. Now, the mask itself is what freaked me out. It freaked me out so bad that I lied to my brother that the game had a limited number of times you could play it, and if he ran the number out, he wouldn't be able to play it anymore. I don't know how that worked. Maybe I was delusional and also thought it was a demo, but I'm also pretty sure this was before limited attempts on demos were even a thing. I got nothing. Majora's Mask freaked me out. I don't know what to tell you. Next up, we fast forward a little bit when I learned about Portal 2 coming out when I was in 8th grade. I was so excited. I hadn't been able to play the first one, but I loved the Let's Play I saw. And now it was getting a sequel? Amazing. However, seeing the dilapidated aperture freaked me out. Everything being run down and the foliage taking over the facility, even if GLaDOS was talking to you through the reverse of Chamber 19, it still shook me to my core. Fun fact about me, I don't do well with liminal spaces. I get hit with the desire to run away and find people. In games, if it feels like there's supposed to be people in there and it's not, can't do it. However, with Portal 2, I was able to get over it, and now it's the game I've played all the way through the most. It's one of my favorite games of all time. In hindsight, this next one is silly, but when the first Five Nights at Freddy's came out, it actually ruined my ability to sleep for a bit. I had to make sure I felt like I was tucked all the way in and listened to the final boss theme from Sonic Lost World so my brain wouldn't drift. Looking back, the later games are better for their jump scares, with Foxy being pretty weak in hindsight. But let me defend myself a little bit, because back when I still lived at home, my closet was covered with pink curtains, and my bed directly faced it. It would have been bad enough already, but having to deal with my brain being fed free material to scare myself with was quite frankly unfair. Truly the worst coincidence I could have possibly had. Remember what I said about liminal spaces? Yeah, I'll never play the Stanley Parable. I've seen it played. I think it's really funny. But there should be people in this office building, and there just isn't. Not even the narrator is enough to curb the terror I get in my chest. While writing this script, I can feel my chest tighten a little. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be scared of a funny game. I know it goes some places and isn't afraid to get a little dark, but holy moly. This is not what the devs intended. I will simply enjoy from afar, thank you. Not even a bucket could save this. I still need to beat the first BioShock. It's a classic and phenomenal game that is one of the first times I've ever been deeply affected by a video game. It was crazy to me that a game could make me feel and think and have my mind blown in a way that I've never experienced before. However, I'm in for it frolic and have been for years. I know I'm gonna be frozen and have all my gear taken, and I'm terrified of that happening. I know it will be fine, I'm not incompetent, but that fear has been a stopgap. The Houdini slicers are terrible too. I loathed them, but I pushed through Arcadia. Something about the lack of power being thrust upon me and being alone in a strange place. And last, but certainly not least, I love Resident Evil. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's camp. I've never played a game in the series, but I admire it from afar. I like the characters. Hell, Wesker's been my Minecraft skin for over a decade at this point. And I love Ethan Winters. He's the best protagonist. He's just a guy who probably got hit with a car if he messed up that fight with Jack. While the normal game has its moments, the DLC with poor Clancy was the thing that stuck with me. Specifically, the escape room. There's that added tension there from watching something and wanting them to solve the puzzles as quickly as possible, but also make sure they put things back in the wrong spot so that when Marguerite does check in on you, she doesn't become suspicious. Being in first person certainly doesn't help. It's a front row seat. A stressful, terrifying front row seat. It was so not okay when Justin and I watched Scary Game Squad play 7. I was simply banned from watching horror games ever again so I could sleep well at night. I have rarely watched horror game Let's Plays since. There are certainly other things that scared me over the years, but these are the main ones I could think of. If I think of more, maybe a sequel for next year? No promises. I hope you all enjoyed and have a happy and safe Halloween. Until next time.